I apologize, y'all. Good evening again. This is my podcast, 7 o'clock. Tell the truth, period. I apologize for the mishap just now. I apologize. I got to tell the truth. I'm honest. I'm telling y'all, I'm just using the laptop for the second time, and I haven't gotten it all together yet. But God is still God. Y'all hear me? And I'm still keeping it moving. My guess, she's going to probably log back on. So she was on, but I couldn't add her because I haven't learned that yet. But I'm learning one day, period. But again, I'm grateful and thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for y'all support. Thank y'all. I love y'all, and ain't nothing y'all can do about it, period. I'm still me. And God is still God. But God. My podcast, 7 o'clock p.m. every Thursday. Tell the truth, period. Taking the mask off. We taking them off. We got to. We can't live like that no longer. So we taking them off. We taking them off. We telling the truth. Nothing but the truth. So help us. And God is our witness. Right? So yes. So I'm back. I apologize. I apologize. Please forgive me for the little 15-minute session and not going right. But I love y'all. Take all mistakes for love. That's right. Take it for love. All right. And I'm waiting on my guest thing. I'm not going to keep her long. She's a busy woman, and I love her for all that she does. Yes. But it's been a wonderful May. May has been wonderful. This month has been a month. Yes. I'm looking forward to June, and then July, my month. You know what it is. July 24th, 7/24 is my birthday. Yes, but I am so grateful for y'all. And again, I apologize. For the first 15 minutes, the mayhap. I have not taken out the time to get to know my laptop or what I need to do. My laptop, when I go live, I did go live last week by myself. So I thought it was the same thing, but obviously it's not. Something else that I have to do. Look in the settings and read and see, and we'll have it. But until then, here we go. That is my guest tonight on the podcast. We ready. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. Hey, Ramona. Hi, everyone. Thank y'all. Every Thursday at 7 o'clock. If not, y'all can go to my YouTube and please subscribe to my YouTube, Latasha Cutter-Blige 1021. And all my podcasts are on there. Y'all will be amazed. It's all on there, and it's nothing but my podcast. That's why I tell everybody to subscribe to my YouTube so that y'all can see the podcast. My guest should be on in a second. And I thank all of you for supporting me. I appreciate y'all, and I love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Period. Not a thing. My God, I apologize for the timing. Because it's my fault. But God is still God. Please believe that. I'm adding my guest is on. Just thank God for, yes, Miss Tabitha Crawford Roberts. Woo. We thank God for you, beautiful lady. Yes.
I've been trying to get on my laptop, and that ain't been working.
Listen, and you see me and my laptop. I had to apologize to everybody for me and my laptop because I don't know how to work it yet, but I'm working on it. But still, it's still God,
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. So introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you, Tabitha.
My name is Tabitha Crawford Roberts. I am the wife to Mr. Jamon Roberts. I am the mother to Beverly and Jamon. I am the oldest sister of 25. I'm a graduate of Alfred Beach High School as well as Savannah State University with my master's in social work. In the daytime, during the school year, 180 days, I am the school social worker at Rice Creek and Groves High School. Um, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm a travel agent. And Monday through Saturday, sometimes I am the owner of a convenience store, as well as I have a nonprofit called Right Track Community Solutions. So Monday through Sunday, I'm busy. But most importantly, beyond all of those things that I listed earlier, I am a child of God and I just trust God. I'm a motherless child, but I'm a child of God and I'm the daughter of Benny Crawford Sr.
All right. My God. Entrepreneur. Yes. That's what I'm
Good.
talking about. My God. But listen, it ain't took a snap of a finger to get there.
Yes,
It was a process. We gotta
yes, it
trust
was.
the process. We have
Yes.
to trust the process. And what process would you give us? What was it like going through becoming a business owner? You got a lot of hats, man. Take my hat off to you. And
Yeah.
listen, and this woman, she inspired me. She inspired me to write my book. This book right here. She is the one. I'm telling you, she is an inspiration. She's a helper. Man, God has been so good using her. Man, Tabitha is the bomb. First, she came in my life with my son. She was my son's social worker at his school because he was acting up, my youngest. She had to come to my house to visit, and we just started. We hit it. We just hit it after that, and she has been an inspiration to me, and she's been encouraging me. She is the reason I wrote the book, y'all. And I ain't tell y'all no lie. Just tell the truth. I'm telling the truth. I'm putting it all out. She tell me, so what makes you like? I know you got the gift. I know God give you the gift of prophecy, and you can see things. I know that you don't. She does not. She's not doesn't is entitled, but she has the gift. She really does. And she saw some things in me. I was like, all I could do was be like, yes, ma'am. You know. So I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, go into that. Talk about how you established everything you established, some of the hurt, some of the pains you had to go through, and things like that.
Okay. I am also an author as well. I forgot to mention that. I'm a poet.
Yeah,
I
I
guess
got the book.
yes.
And
I guess I'll start when I became a motherless child. My mother was a mother of three. I lost my mom in the seventh grade due to a car accident. The year my mom died, I was introduced to writing skills as a coping skill through my seventh grade teacher, Miss Patricia West. Hey, Patricia West, if you're out there. She was my seventh grade teacher at Scott Middle School. She introduced me to writing, and I was preparing to write my mom, a poem for Mother's Day. Um, at the age of 13, I was a defiant child. So I was oppositional. I was ADHD. With my mom, I was able to process, take medication and different things like that. However, transitioning to grandma's house, where grandmother believes in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, I was taken off of my medication. And so I just used poetry as my coping skill when I was introduced to it. So the poem that I wrote for my mom, I was not able to give it to her for Mother's Day because she died the week of Mother's Day, and I was able to say it have it in there as a memo for the funeral. So coming up to Mother's Day, my mom dying on May the 7th is always like a hard pill to swallow. But even though I was a motherless child, I was never a hopeless child. My grandmother always instilled in us the foundation of what it was to be a Christian, to trust God, to trust the process. But at the age of 13, all of that goes out the window when you're hurt, when you're broken, and when you feel like, everything, your mom is gone, and why my mom, and all of these other things that just come to your mind, the hurt, the pain, the brokenness at 13. And on top of already being an angry child, defiant child, I use poetry to cope. So I wrote my story, I write my poetry, and I wrote 2 books. And I wrote deep in my heart. That was just feelings that I had. I was a very radical, outspoken young lady, always spoke on politics, always spoke on Black lives, the importance of it. Rodney King, always protesting, always trying to find ways to be creative, to be the difference in my community at a young age. So do that defiance, I went on to Beach High School, graduated from high school, was just trying to figure life out. And that during that time, I put God on the back burner. But I remember in 2000, because regardless of when you put God on the back burner, he doesn't necessarily put you on the back burner. And I remember in May of 2000 when I was just living life and I was doing some things and being around people. And I remember when murder came to my door at 628, 629 West 48th Street. Um, Someone was murdered at my house in my backyard. And I said, my God, if you get me out of this situation, from this environment, I'll change. I'll do something different. And I promised God that in 2000, and 24 years later, it has been a journey. But now on my journey, I trust God with everything. I trust God with my life. I trust his decisions. I trust him to fight my battles for me, even though I still do poetry as a coping skill, but I just learned to trust God through in that journey and through that hurt and that pain. As a young woman, sometimes we often try to find things to substitute those pains. And I tell a lot of people, I found substitution in trying to find love in all the wrong places. You drinking alcohol, just to try to cover my pain and my hurt and my betrayal, and just trying to, when you don't have a model relationship, as far as a relationship with a man and a woman, you don't really see it day to day. You try to figure things out. And so when I finally started trying to figure things out, I found myself becoming a single parent to my daughter. But I just thank God and I trusted God that, almost 3 years later, God provided me with a helpmate that, still there by my side almost 20 years later. And I wasn't a single parent anymore. And then I learned how to be, love myself, love my children, love my husband, and just different things like that during the process and doing that hurt, but just trying to figure it out and balance it. And like I said, the journey started in 2000. It's 2024. And I can't say I know everything. I can't say I'm perfect, but I trust God. And that's what I do. I trust God to fight my battles. I trust God. I just trust God with everything. And what I always try to tell the young people, I was that young lady. I was that person who was broken. I was that person who didn't believe in the system. I was that, fight the power sister, soul sister. And then, when you face life, then I had to face, my mother getting killed in a car accident by a drunk driver in 92. Then I'm losing my grandfather. Then my little 13-year-old cousin getting murdered in 1995. Then you fast forward, getting a lot of you introducing to violence at a young age. Then my brother gets murdered at the age of 17. So through my brother's murder is how I formed a relationship with Tompkins Community Center, because my brother was murdered in that neighborhood. And instead of being a part of the problem, my goal was to be part of the solution. So like I said, I had to learn things the hard way. It's 24 years later after my journey started, but I'm still trusting God. And I made a promise to God in May when he delivered me from that environment and those people that I was around. When he delivered me, I said, I'm going to do everything that I can do to change. And it has been a process, and I've been, working on me, working on self. And still to this day, I still work on self. I journal. I'm getting ready to start me a new journal on the first, just trying to learn life and just trying to find a balance, because at the end of the day, you might have a lot of titles, you might have a lot of things pulling at you, but you have to take that self-care. You have to have that time with God and be able to develop that relationship with God. But most importantly, if you're not no good to yourself, you cannot be any good to anybody else. So my journey, a heartbreak started when I was in the 7th grade. And then, now I'm 45 years old and I'm trying to figure it out. And as a business owner, it's not easy because at the end of the day, everybody still has to get paid, income still has to come out, and you still have to try to find that balance. And like I said, even like I went back to my neighborhood, opened up one of our neighborhood stores, reopened it back up. And that's a process. That is truly a process. And I do travel because I love traveling and I love to have people, travel and different things like that as well. And that's where I try to balance my income. But my passion is working with our young people and working in our communities and trying to be a part of the change and create solutions and not just continue to make negative statistics or complain about things that we can't change, but it's some things that we can change. And as the community, whatever your role is just the goal of planting seeds, because you never know what seed you're going to plant in somebody. It might not grow today, it might not grow tomorrow, but that seed will grow if you continue to plant it and give that seed positive encouragement and different things like that. So I've planted a lot of seeds and a lot of children. I've seen some of them grow and I've seen some of them die. But at the end of the day, as long as you know that you did everything that you can do as a person and as an individual, you know that that seed didn't die because you killed it. That seed died because that seed didn't have the foundation that was needed in order for it to grow. So that's why that seed might have died or whatever the outcome is be. So I had to learn that as a social worker and just learn how to balance, and just at the end of the day, you just got to trust God.
My God. My God. Jesus. That's it. My God, my God. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's all. Look, Mike's drop. That's it. That's all. If y'all don't get nothing from this woman, man, so much, so much. My God.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm telling you, Tabitha, you powerful now. You got it. For real.
That's God.
All what you just said, that and you giving it to him. That's what we do. We give it, but God, not but God. I'm telling you. But I'm telling you, man, it's just it's amazing. Every time I hear your story, it just be like, you know what I'm saying? It elevate, it help. You know what I'm saying? It helped me. It helped push. It be like, no, no, can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. And the thing about God and the thing about people, people will always remember your past. And sometimes you'll have people trying to remind you of who you were. But you just have to continue to trust God. And then sometimes people come into your life and they try to get you out of character sometimes. And sometimes I'm not going to say I'm perfect and I don't get out of character or whatever, but I get back to the basics, and I go to God and I pray on it, and I just leave it all in God's hands, because one thing about it in life, you can be hurt by people, and the biggest people that ever hurted me in life, and ever doubted me sometimes, it was my own blood. So you just have to learn how to shake your shoulders. You sometimes you don't even have to do anything to people, and they just dislike you for no reason. But as long as God loves you, and as long as you trust God, everything gonna be okay. It might don't look okay, but it's gonna be okay. And so that's what I just had to learn. And sometimes I cry, and it's a hurtful feeling when you have family members who don't have your best interests. So you just have to trust God. And then, as that defiant child, like I said earlier, my mom died. I had ran away, went and stayed with my grandmama. But then as a woman, when I became a mother, I realized what my mom was going through as a single parent, with 3 children, trying to do the best she can, juggling 2 and 3 jobs. And I had to look to heaven and just apologize, because as a child, you wanted to be a child. You didn't want to be a babysitter. You didn't want to do chores. You just wanted to chill and relax as a child. But sometimes, you have to assist in the process, because sometimes we're placed in situations that we're just in those situations. But at the end of the day, if you trust God and you just trust God. But see, at the time I was just young and I was naive, but I was built on a foundation of God. My grandmother instilled in me, so I always knew how to get back to it. But I was just going through it, and I was just angry, and I was just defiant. I didn't want to keep nobody. I didn't want to clean up. I wanted to enjoy my youth. But then I realized, as a adult woman now, sometimes you have to find that balance. And it's not that you trying to hinder your children. It's just you just need that additional support at times.
And that's what it is for real. And accountability, you told us a lot, and accountability is so needed. Everybody needs to be accountable. Just be accountable and stop pointing fingers. As you see, Tabitha just talked. The whole time she talked, she never pointed fingers. She never said this did this. She never said no, it's us. It's us. Whatever happened, it's up to us. It's
Yeah.
us. It's our decisions. It's the choices that we make. You gotta be accountable. It's all right. We're not perfect. None of us are perfect. None of us. For real. None of us are perfect. So we're going to make mistakes, but it's all right to admit to your mistakes. It's all right to say, I was wrong. It's all right to apologize. That's the thing. We have to take accountability these days. We have to. Man,
Yeah.
my God. Well, God is so good, and He's still God. He's
Yeah.
still God. He's still God. My God, you gave us a lot, Lord. I love you, man. I love you,
Yeah.
man.
So we currently have a lot of things going on in our community, and we have a lot of violence going on. We have a lot of children that's run away, children that's missing. It's a lot going on right now. And, our event that we just had, Rise Up and Prepare for Battle, Fighting for the Family, it's so important that we instilled God and different things into our households and different things like that. Yeah, they took prayer out of school, but they didn't take it out your house. So you have to learn how to use your resources, do different things like that because it's a war going on out here. These children are dying, different things are happening. Suicide is on a rise again, and it's just sad. And you have 16-year-olds shooting themselves in the head, jumping off of buildings and different things like that. And a lot of times in the African American community, we don't want to talk about mental health, but we have some mental health issues going on, and you have some behavioral health issues going on.
Yeah,
It's a difference in the
they're
two.
real.
It's
Yep,
a
they are
difference in
real.
the two. I just read a mother who took her child for treatment for mental health services, and they discharged him, and 3 weeks later he killed himself. So suicide is real. And some children think that's the only option that they have because they don't have that
I
support
love.
and they don't have those things. So as a community, we can't always judge, and that happens so much. You have to sometimes get to know a child, because I always tell people my theory as a social worker. They used to hear the saying that one bad apple spoils a bunch. That's not true. If you can take that apple out and you can do anything with that apple, you can still cut it up. You can cut off those negative pieces and different things. You can make you some applesauce. It's still some good to that apple. So you just have to utilize that apple the best way that you can and take that apple out of the environment that is causing it to die. And that's why, I always use the pie model, the person and the environment. You can change an individual all day. But at the end of the day, if you don't look for resources in their environment and their families, because at the end of the day, the children, regardless of what they're born to, they love their families and they just don't want to escape. And then some of them don't have families, so they turn to these gangs and different things like that, and that becomes their family and that becomes their loyal system and different things like that. So it's just a lot going on, in our community. And as a social worker with my social work hat on, in order to create change, we have to be the solution. I know a lot of times some people blame leadership and different things like that and say the parents, but it takes, it truly takes a community to assist with change. And I remember I had a gentleman tell me one time, it doesn't necessarily take a whole village. It just takes some consistent people to be in these children lives. Also sometimes the parents might need some mentoring. So we just have to look at different things from different lens, but at the end of the day, we just can't judge. We have to trust God, we have to pray, but we also have to take action in your homes, take action in your communities, and just different things like that. So that's my spiel on the community things that's going on. I used to do the marches. I used to go displays, do the prayers in the community and different things like that. But at the end of the day, if you don't go inside of where those children are at and try to be the change, it's going to pretty much just repeat itself, repeat itself, repeat itself. And that's what it's doing. And it seems like they're winning, but God will win. He will get the victory.
Yeah.
So just trust God and just trust the process.
My God. Trust the process. Y'all have to. Like for real. And I lived through that with my oldest son. When he was in high school and I told him, I said, you can take the whipping or hit the dough. And he was 17 years old and he took the dough. And I promise you, ain't nothing good about you not knowing where your child is. I rode to school every day, rode up and down trying to find him, and I still ain't found him. Police brought him to my house. Weeks later. But still, the fact that I didn't, it's a hurtful thing, and we got to get these kids off the streets. They running away, getting mad or whatever. We have to deal with it because it's something that comes from the inside of them, generational stuff. And these kids just want to be loved. They do. And that's what I say. And you so right about you being people being judgmental or things like that. You can't be judgmental. Just show them some love and respect.
Yeah, and I know, like, I used to share a lot of times I used to share information on my Facebook page just about crime in general. I did that for two reasons. I did it because I wanted to keep up with what was going on in my community. However, I remember one day I just posted an article, didn't read it, didn't really know the people that was in the article, but apparently the mother of the suspect was one of my friends on social media, and she was offended because I shared the news posts. But I shared posts, I share those posts all the time. And that's the thing sometimes with people, they don't get offended or they don't get hurt or they don't want to see change until it comes knocking at their door. I didn't know that was your son, I just share information. And so I stopped sharing a lot of times because my goal was just to bring awareness to what was going on. Because a lot of times people don't see the news, people don't read the news. And it wasn't that I was trying to be a news reporter, it was that I've been just sharing information because one of my pages was 411 community. And that's what I do. I share information, regardless of what the information, whether it's good or bad, I share that information. So I won't be blindsided that these things are not going on in my community. Yes, I don't live in the Savannah area anymore, and I haven't lived in the Savannah area for over 22 years. But you still have to know what's going on in your community, especially when you're a product of a certain area. And a lot of times people say, "Well, I move and that's that or whatever." But my goal is to always just try to create change, and it's not to offend anybody. Some people then deleted me and different things like that. That's their personal choice. But at the end of the day, I'm just sharing information. It's public knowledge.
Yeah.
And if it was my brother or whatever, somebody share or whatever the case may be, it is what it is. It's not to try to offend anybody. It's just to make people aware and wake up. And I remember when I wrote this poem called Black Body, it wasn't about and it became popular and it was just about me as a young child seeing something going on, and I wrote about it. And I stopped writing and using my gift that God gave me because people judge you. I wrote about abortion and domestic violence, and everybody thinks when you write about something, like you use your creative abilities and gifts that God give you, that that's always talking about you. And I allow people to change the gift that God gave me, and I stopped utilizing that gift that he gave me and birthed me with to use as a coping skill because of people. And so I said now, a lot of people say, well, you do this and you do that, but at the end of the day, I'm human. At the end of the day, I'm a child of God. At the end of the day, I like to have fun. I like to listen to a certain type of music, when I'm riding and different things like that. But when I know when it's time for me to prepare for battle, I know what music I need to listen to. When it's time for me to have fun, I know what music, I need to do to have fun. But at the end of the day, I don't set out to be anybody's role model or things like that. My goal is to be the best me that I can be. And if I can inspire you on my journey, if I can do anything to help you on my journey, that is my goal. But I'm gonna be me, and and I'm gonna trust God in being me. And so that's just a lot of things when you like I said, when you're talking about people and different things like that, your parenting skills. I wasn't a perfect parent. I'm still learning now. I have a 17-year-old son. And I'm
Exactly.
still learning and trying to have patience, you know.
Ooh, that's
You have to have patience because this is a different breed of children. They're so emotional, and you got to watch what you say and
okay.
different
Oh,
things like that. So, you just got to find that balance. But most importantly, like I always said on this segment, you just got to trust God because you can't, you're not, nobody's
right.
perfect. You're going some days you're gonna get it right, some days you're gonna get it wrong. I'm
Yeah.
sitting in my store today trying to figure out why am I doing this and ain't making a profit, ain't made a profit in 2 years. But I trust God for the relationships that come into the store. I trust God for the people that I meet when I connect to the store, when we feed the children in the neighborhood and we do different things like that for the kids for free. And I thank God for the people that come along in the journey like you and others who, just help me in this journey to try to, reach out and give back to our community. But it's a process.
Yes, it is. My God, it truly is. And y'all trust the process and don't give up.
Yeah.
Don't quit. Don't give up. And go, you can always, if you stop doing something that you love to do, go back and get it.
Yeah.
Go back and start over. Go back and start again. Start again. Start. We got to. We it can't stop, won't stop. We ain't no quitters.
No.
We ain't giving up. And it's always somebody there to help you. Somebody. Just have to reach out and talk to them.
Yeah.
Just tell the truth. To be
Yeah.
honest, for real. When I didn't love myself, I had to realize I didn't love myself. You just got to
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah.
And God,
And a lot of times people say that thing, young people say, snitches get stitches and all of this other stuff, and they don't want to say anything or they don't want to offend anybody. But at the end of the day, in all truth, them stitches can be removed. But like I tell people, them young people all the time, when that parent, put their child in a ditch or something else, they can't get their child back. So, and you can't wait till it knocks on your door for you to want to turn around and be an advocate and do all this other stuff when mothers been losing their children almost every day, every night, and you didn't even say a prayer for them. So, people just got to be careful with that and just, all is do unto others as they do to you. Just because somebody treats you bad, that don't mean you have to
yes,
treat them bad. So you just got to sometimes get away out of those negative things, or those negative little quotes that people say to you, and you have to trust God, trust the process, and you just have to truly pray for people. And when people do you wrong, and you sometimes you're like, well, God, when is gonna happen? When is gonna happen? It's gonna happen on God's time, and I had to learn that too.
God,
It's
everything.
gonna
God,
happen on
God,
God's time.
everything. Yep.
It's gonna
My,
happen on God's
yep.
time.
That's it. My God, Lord, that's it right there. It's in God's timing. God's timing. My God, Jesus, that's it right there. Everything, and God is in control of everything, and everybody gonna reap what they sow. So sow good seeds, make good choices. That's the thing.
Yes.
Gonna reap what you sow, regardless. Man,
Yep. And also, just to make people aware, if you do know somebody that might be having suicidal ideation and different things like that in the state of Georgia, you can call 988. That's the suicide and the crisis lifeline number. Um, sometimes you just have to make the call. And I tell people that all the time, just make the call. It's not for you to investigate it, even
yeah,
when it comes to child abuse and different things like that. Just make the call. Defects, if it's defects, as investigate. If it's the police, they'll investigate. It's not our job to be investigators or whatever the case may be. Our goal is just to be the voice.
that's
Um, and it's up to that person or that individual, to get the help that he or she needs.
988. That's it. That's
988. They used to have a loan number, but now they done broke it down where it's very simple. And if anybody want one of the battle kits that we gave out at the event in May, just get with Latasha in her inbox, and I'll give her a couple of them. But those battle kits just have scriptures, holy all, and different things that you need, music that you can listen to when you're going through. Just having those kits. Our goal was to give out 100 kits. We done gave out about 75. I think I got about 25 left. So if you want one of those kits, just let me know, and I can get that to you. We'll be starting back up with our mentoring services full time in September. So if you want to be a mentor, if you want to be a volunteer, if you want to be a one-time speaker, whatever it is that you desire to do, if you got an expertise in an area that you might can talk to our young people about, or our parents, because like I said, we don't just mentor children, we mentor parents as well with my nonprofit, and that's called Right Track Community Solutions, and that website is www.righttrackservices.org, and that has all of our information, our upcoming events, and different things about that, like that on there. So that's Right Track Community Solutions. That's the head on that. Um, and again, if you just want to relax your mind and you want to travel, my travel business is Right Travel Consulting Service, and that number is 912-272-0281. We got a couple of cruises coming up soon. We got one in November. It's a self-care cruise on the sea, and that's in November. So you can get your girlfriends and just come on and just take you some time for yourself and just cruise and leave those problems in the sea. So that's our goal for November, but that's the Right Travel. And then again, if anybody familiar with Beach High School area where Lottie's was at, that's where I took over with the Lottie's convenience store. Um, and it's still called Lottie's, and also doing business as Tories, which is my brother's name, who was murdered in that neighborhood. So my summer hours, I can share that with Latasha next week, but we just do different things. But at the end of the day, in all my roles, it's all about, serving people, regardless if it's traveling, regardless if it's social work, regardless if it's the convenience store. It's all about building relationships and serving people and introducing and telling people about the goodness of God and trusting the process.
My God. Y'all heard it. Y'all take down the information. Take it down. Go back and replay this and take down information. Get in touch with Miss Tabitha. She's an awesome, awesome person. I love her spirit. She can help you, help somebody else. Anything. If you have issues, you have a problem, if you have somebody or whatever, talk. She's the person. You talk to her. She got the information. She got what we need. Y'all, we got to help each other. We have to help each other, and it's time out on all that other stuff. All that jealousy and other stuff, it's overrated, and I'm done with it. That part. We
Yeah.
help us one to another, and we all helping each other, and that's what we need. That's what we need. My God. Anything else, Tabitha?
Mm-mm.
That's it.
Just trust God, trust the process, and I'm gonna just leave y'all with this one of my pieces that I always read, I always recite, and hopefully I remember every word tonight as we close out. But the piece was called Black Body, and it says black bodies, hold on. Black bodies, hold on one second. Let me get myself together. Hold on one second. Give me one second.
Yes. Miss Tabitha Crawford Roberts is our guest tonight. She's going to give us some words to close us out. It has been phenomenal. Y'all go back and watch it. Take down the information. We are helpers one to another. Ain't no more, none of that. We are helpers one to another. And that's what we're doing. We're helping. We're growing. And we're keeping it moving.
Okay.
And we are. And there she goes. She's back.
Okay. Black body lay flat on the ground, trembling and shaking, not making a sound. Black body is being abused. They beat him so bad his mind is confused. Black bodies with so many whips. Black bodies walk free from ships. Black bodies laid everywhere, so we the people will be treated equally fair. Black body is a beauty in the skies. Black body, no need to hide. Black women, we cry at night, hoping and praying black men make it home all right. Black men kill, hurt, and destroy each other. Why can't you realize you're taking away from your brothers? Black minds, black hearts need to come together as one, black body, black people. In 2024, this can be done. The other night, it's not just black men that's dying. We have black mothers that's dying too. Black young ladies are dying and being killed as well. So I challenge you, my beautiful black bodies, to wake up and be the change. That poem was written back in 1994 with Rodney King, and our children and our black bodies are continuing to die. We're dying due to poverty. We're dying due to not being educated. We're dying because we don't want to break the cycle. We don't want our children to do better than what we're doing. Black bodies are dying because the children are being molested by people and nobody don't want to say anything. Black bodies are dying because we have children that has a state of depression and mental health, but nobody don't want to give them the treatment that they desire and that they need because they're so busy worrying about everybody else. Black bodies are continuing to be shot down by police and different people like that because they don't have respect for a black body, because the black bodies in some cases don't even have respect for themselves. And so then you have the black bodies and the black bodies and the women who just want to just show everybody their bodies and different things like that and don't even have no self-respect for themselves. And one thing about black bodies back in the days is the mother of the family, the grandmothers of the families used to pray on their knees. Nobody is getting on their knees anymore. No more parents. Parents are not parenting anymore. The system is not systeming anymore. Now in the juvenile system, you have to have so many points before they really arrest you. Black bodies is just a setup, because by the time you get those points, you're going to be faced with life as an adult, because something is going to change once you turn 17. So I just challenge you as black bodies to get yourselves together. Stop trying to make excuses. I know the rent going up. I know everything and stuff is going up, but as black bodies and in the black community, we have to learn how to find ways to break these cycles and just find ways to increase our wealth and different things like that. Learning how to budget. I'm still trying to figure that out. But I challenge you as black bodies and black people, we have to do something different. You can't sit and wait on the mayor, the president, the county commissioner, the preachers, the politicians, and the police to create no change for you and your family. As a black body, you're gonna have to stand up and do what you need to do. And then you're gonna have to realize that you might don't have all the resources that other people have, but my God will give you everything that you need so you can sustain and that you can be successful. It might don't look like success in your eyes, but in God's eyes, it is a success. So I challenge you, black people, as y'all leave off of this on tonight, wake up, wake up, wake up, and be the solution to the change. A change is needed. And what we did at that event the other night about, remember when we did the breakout prayer, and sometimes you have to go back to Shirley Caesar and listen to different songs like that. I love new gospel, but it's something about that old gospel. That old
Yes, Lord.
gospel. Sometimes you have to go back to that old gospel and go back to them knees and go back to that closet. Whatever you got to do to save your children and your family and your community, you just got to do what you got to do. And as women, we got to do better. I thought I never saw the day when I said that I have seen so many black mothers failing our children, and it's really and it's truly sad, because one time mama was all you had, and mama just wanted you to have the basic education. Now mamas don't, some mamas do not care. And it breaks my heart to see that our children don't even have their mamas no more. Daddy sometimes was a hit and miss, and we appreciate all the good brothers out there. We appreciate all the awesome fathers. But mothers, we got to wake up. We have to wake up, and we have to do a better job of making sure that our children at least have the basic knowledge, at least get a high school diploma, at least have some type of training or some career, because college not for everybody. I sure said college wasn't for me, but then I realized at the age of 22 that I needed some extra money, because I couldn't always depend on this man to help me pay my rent, to help me do this and help me do that. I needed my own foundation, and it's good when you have a helpmate, but at the end of the day, you got to have that the basic skills that you need so your family can be successful. Trust God, and God is all you need. But at the same time, trust God and take action. You have to take action to in order to create change for your solutions. You can't keep blaming people for your shortcomings 10 years, 15 years, 20 years later. Because I could have blamed the whole world, but what good is it going to do? So you just got to trust God and trust the process, black bodies. And, and I'm going to just leave you with that.
My God. Tabitha Crawford Roberts. Woo! Woman of God. My God, my God. This has been amazing. My God, my God. Thank all of you. Thank all of you so much for joining me. Thank y'all for y'all support. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, and ain't nothing y'all can do about it. I thank y'all. Thank y'all. Y'all tune in every Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. for my podcast, Tell the Truth.
Yeah.
Taking the mask off. Telling the truth. Speaking the truth. Telling what's real. We don't have time to sugarcoat and do all that. I ain't got that kind of time no more. I ain't got time to play. I ain't got time to fake. I just don't have it no more. God has given me a second chance, and I owe him.
Yes.
I do. And I'm going
Yes.
to help whoever.
Yes.
And I thank God for you, Tabitha. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
and I thank God for you too. And how we met, connected it wasn't nothing but God. And I thank God for you and your family. I think y'all been there for day one of our events. We're going on to the 9th year. We're going into the 10th. Well, it would have been the 11th year. So it has been consistent since then. And I thank God for the relationship with you. I thank God for you being a woman of God. And I thank God for you not allowing your situation to determine where you at now as a woman of God. And this podcast might be small, but if you save one life from your podcast, just keep on being you. Whether you have one person, two people on here, just continue to plant wherever that you are, and I guarantee you that will blossom. So just trust God, and I thank God for you, and I thank God for your listeners, and I thank God for everybody that's on here tonight. So we just going to continue to trust God. And we're going to continue to ask God to give you favor so you can continue to do great things. And we just trust you. We just trust you, and we just trust God. And we thank God for you and your family. Because regardless of what, you just got to continue to trust God. And how you say, but God,
But God.
is the reason we're here on tonight.
Yes, ma'am. I thank you. I love y'all. Thank y'all all, and y'all have a great night. Everybody be blessed and be blessed and be blessed. Good night, and see you next week.